Chapter 1 No Second Chances. Today was the day of the 10th annual elite recruitment drive, and every graduating student at Lithium Mine Middle School was gathered in the gymnasium waiting for the elites to arrive with the medicine that would decide their fate. The elites were the idols of the Golden Dragon Nation, superhumans with magical abilities that were born from the divine injection that the students were going to receive today. None of the children of the miners had ever seen one before, unless you counted the mayor who gave speeches a few times a year, and the excitement of having them right here in their school had been all that the students could talk about for months. So one could imagine the disappointment they felt when it was not some famous idol but a group of elites from the military that showed up to perform the injections. But although these weren't the singers or movie stars that they all knew, it was no secret that these military elites were saviors that protected their nation against hostile armies and the ever-present threat of magical beasts. The television in the cafe and the teachers at the school both told them so. While they had never seen an elite in person, they had seen magical beasts, and quite often there were earth mice hiding all over the mining town, and the farmers nearby had been raising monstrous boars for generations. But until very recently, it was only the power of technology and the holy magic of the church's high priests and priestesses that could keep the wild beasts at bay. However, when the more powerful monsters came, you hid, or you died. That was the way of life for the humans of the Golden Dragon Nation, and indeed, most of the humans of the world. Carl fidgeted in his seat, and as he waited for the nurse to come and administer the serum shot. Today was the biggest day of a young student's life, the day that they would be administered the Mana Awakening Serum, better known as the Divine Serum, and find out if they would gain the sort of abilities that could change their lives, or if they would be stuck as common workers in a lithium mining town for the rest of their lives. This was also Carl's last day at the government-run school before he either started working full-time or, with any luck, left this decrepit mining town. If he was compatible with the serum, he would be off to the Golden Divine Academy tonight and ready to train his new skills as a defender of the Golden Dragon Nation. They had already sat through an hour of speeches by the principal, reminding them of their duty to the nation, the glory of the elites, and the importance of this chance that they were given. After all, they were just the children of common mine workers, dirt floor poor and unlikely to ever be anything else. Carl closed his eyes as the nurse rolled the cart with an open briefcase on it next to him, and then a violent pain shot up his arm and the world briefly went blank. Agony spread to every cell in his body like he was being torn apart from the inside, and blood clogged his lungs, leaving him drowning while sitting in the metal folding chair of his school's auditorium. This was wrong. The shot was only supposed to hurt as the needle poked you, not like this. As his consciousness faded, Carl realized that he was likely to be the 1 in 100, the rare fatal reaction to the shot which sorted out the defenders of the nation from the common people. But after a few seconds, his breathing cleared, the pain began to fade, and his eyes fluttered open. A few seconds after that, Carl regained consciousness with pain still coursing through every cell of his body. The nurse's deep crimson eyes, a side effect of her own serum injection, were staring directly back at him, and a slight smile was on her face. There you are. I thought that we lost you there for a minute. It's a good sign. Zero casualties at this stop always means there is a powerful one in the bunch. The woman moved back, and Carl took in the smartly pressed green military uniform, pencil skirts, and heels. It was all familiar but all wrong. Did he lose some of his memories after the injection, or was there something wrong with his eyes? On second thought, there was definitely something wrong with his eyes. The word was a single. The word was still a little blurry. The world was still a little blurry when he didn't have someone to focus on. He flinched as his head began to pound again and a new wave of pain racked his body. But the military woman with the strange red eyes seemed unconcerned as she stepped to a chubby young girl near him and took a large needle full of a glowing golden liquid out of briefcase on her cart. Without a word of warning, she jabbed it into the girl's arm, and the young girl directly fainted, then slowly recovered her composure.